Hello, today I'm going to try something new. I'm just going to do a junk journal page, not live, but just as I go, which I've never really done before, because I don't necessarily work with any clear plans when I start. I've pulled out my black journal, its first page, purely because I couldn't find my other one. I'm going to put a layer of clear gesso on, and then I'll give it a dry with the heat gun. I get a lot of ladies asking about heat guns and craft heat guns. I've got an I've got a Black & Decker. It's a hardware heat gun, and I just use it on the lowest setting, and I've never had any issues with drying or burning or heat embossing or anything. And generally the hardware ones, like the real heat guns, are much cheaper than the craft heat gun. So if you are looking for a heat gun, check out your hardware store. Okay, that should do. It's a clear gesso. Let's see how it goes and what we do today. The plan on a local group, hello Kunstvlei Dames, is to do a page for every 21 days of lockdown. South Africa is in official lockdown for COVID-19, so we are staying home and we are crafting, or it sounds like that, except I've got 3 small kids, so I craft when they nap. So that's dry. I don't often work on black pages, so this is also a bit of a challenge to me. I've pulled out 2 little bits of ephemera, which, I mean, it made me laugh. One is a little planner, morning and afternoon engagement. Clearly I have none at the moment. And the other one is a little piece of army ephemera from 59. And basically it is, which way around, officially free, so they've been exempt from military service. So I think just that little stamp, officially free, a bit of humor to make the situation slightly better. And then I've got some Tim Holtz. These are the metallic ones. I haven't even opened them. My husband bought them from a trip to the States, so I got a little gift, so let's use those. And then I got these little metallic beads from a friend, no clue. I think I can just glue them on for some texture, so see. I'm going to start off by doing a bit of stenciling. I want quite a just fluid dish, just some movement. It's Bow Bunny stencil paste. It's like a silvery metallic white. You could just dye your own stencil paste. Any paste takes the inks or the distress sprays or whatever quite well. But for time, I'm going to go with this. So I'm not being too precious. I just want a bit of an effect. Most of this will maybe be hidden. And then just be careful when you lift off your stencil if you are neater than me or care more about perfection than me, so that you don't smudge it or get stuff where you don't want it. But for me, for this, the world's a mess. I think it's okay if my journal is too. And something maybe here in the corner. And then again, just either have patience or heat gun it. Some of it's thicker, some of it's not. What I generally do is, if I've got some pastes and things left over, I try and just do a tag at the same time. Then at least it's not wasted. Even if you just get a little bit, just for later use, you had it open, something, whoops, just like that, then at least you don't waste. Okay, let's dry it. I haven't dried it. I'm just wondering if these little beady goody gats stick to wet stencil paste. Let's find out. Because that'll also look quite cool then. I'm guessing it's like embossing paste or embossing powder. Just sprinkle it on and catch whatever doesn't stick. If anyone's cringing, drop me a message and tell me how to use it. I'm also just trying. I didn't buy it. I got it as a gift. How do we get this back in the jar? Let's catch it. Okay. Giving it a shake. That's actually pretty cool. Assuming the camera can focus. It makes the white or the whisper or whatever the color is of the paste much less bright. A good idea would have been to actually use it like you would use embossing powder, and used it on an A4 page or something to catch little beads, because they're going to be everywhere. Okay, now we can dry it. Hopefully the heat doesn't melt the beads. We'll find out. Okay, this is dry enough not to smear. Some of it also made like a puffy foam, maybe too much heat or heat too long in one place, but it looks cool. So now let's see what we can do for our ephemera. I'm just tearing some of it off because, I mean, you get the gist. You don't need to see the whole thing, and you also still want some of your stenciling and things to stay. And also just like the fact that the thing's fragmented gives you an idea of like, everything's just fallen apart, so you might as well tear up your what you plan to do. That looks okay. You could also do your stenciling over, but for me it's just background. Let's zoom in. I'm gonna edge chalk whatever the little paper. I'm very tempted to do it in a red, but that may be just too much, sort of as a red alert. No real plans for what this page is. Journaling for me, junk journaling, art journaling, playing with paper is just a sanity keeper. I'm using gel medium to paint it on purely because I have it handy from yesterday. With these older vintage papers, they are often quite porous, and I mean this, I'm losing more and more beads, never mind. This would have never been intended as a long-term thing. It's someone's date book, right? And I'm just going over the gel medium so that I can, it's basically decoupaged on here now, so that I can stamp and even stencil. This dries clear, so don't worry about, and if the little beads now get stuck on here, it's fine. The paper's not doing so great sticking on the stencil paste, which I probably should have anticipated, but just add more glue or add something on top or glue something on top or whatever. My next thing is this little stamp, but I don't know if I must die cut it out. I think so. I don't just want to tear it. Maybe a little tag or something to go there. I've got a little, like a fragment die, we must put it there, or a little faux postage stamp. I think the fragment fits well. The postage stamp is probably not going to come up. Let's go for the postage stamp, and maybe we can add some official stamps over it. So that cut out quite well, actually. So So I think I'll overlay that. Don't know how to make it stand out a bit more. It's quite faded, but at the same time I want to keep the originality of the ephemera without stamp a frame over it, I think. I've got a choice of two. This one's sort of dainty. These frames are very bizarre. I think they're from some packaging company or something, because I've got a whole set and they make no sense, but that's quite a chunky one, so let's do it in a nice colour ink. I'm going to go for a Tukaneko. It's a pinky red. I love these inks. They really stamp beautifully, so very weird pattern. Let's see if it looks official that you are supposed to do nothing. You are officially free. It definitely draws some attention to that, and then the stamps over. It's still a little bit wet, and also without planning it, engagements have now been struck through, which I think was also, I mean, engagements are struck through. So this is all just a way of documenting COVID, how you feel, what you're thinking, that sort of thing. I've got the stencil that the part I'm after is the after all tomorrow is another day, so I'm going to ink stencil that at the bottom. I'm going to use the same red, which may dominate the page, but again, this is what you want to see. I'm starting to like it. I think it needs some reference maybe to what's happening. You see what's in the little Tim Holtz snippets, maybe for that little blank space there. The stickers come in black and white with silver text and black and white with gold text. I think the white with the gold maybe ties in with the white stenciling. There is a little phrase that says, hope is never lost. And then I think if it says, hope is never lost, after all tomorrow is another day, it also reads as one. Having looked at it, I think it needs a banner to sit on. So let's cut one or find one. I've got my three actually boxes of die cuts out here. I'm going to have a look at what I have handy. Maybe something like that. Some movement across the page. Yeah, that can work. I also don't want to be too fussed and looking for the absolute perfect thing, because that doesn't actually exist. I generally hate wavy lines though. Oh, it's not bad. That's also quite good. I like that it ties, that there's movement across the page. This is a thicker, like a chipboard. It says let's get lost together, but you could just cover it, and then that. It ties in the two sentiments. Oh, I also like the pink, but I think it's too light. With these chipboard embellishments, I always forget, just remember to ink the sides. I'm going to go with the red throughout. There's a tiny bit of the text sticking out once you stick the sticker over, so I'm just going to, it's just a fragment of grid washi tape, just to hide it a bit. What now bothers me is this, which I think I'll cut out either another stamp or a little die cut thing for the date, and for maybe just some thoughts and some background, so actual journaling space. I never journal a lot. By the time I've done the page, I've worked through my process or my thoughts or things, so I don't need to write about it too. I've got a little pocket, but it happens to be Johannesburg's maps. I'm going to just cut that out, stick that, and then I've got some little blank tags which I'll stamp with maybe day 1, the date, and COVID-19. And then it's pretty clear what's going on here. I've cut it to size, but it is also still a little tuck spot, so I'm going to put that in, and then you can actually write, have a little tag or something in there to write more if you would want to. When I do journal pages and I layer elements, I always try that the one touches the other, that there's movement, that it's not like one thing, like the Sahara Desert. These are my very favorite number stamps. They real post office vintage stamps. So that's a one for day one. This tag happened to have a little perforation, so I'm just going to hook it over. I'll staple it or stick it, and then I'll write day one. I've just noticed I've got 7 minutes on my video camera left. I've got a little brad. These two tags, I'm just going to, hopefully they don't pull through. No, I'm just going to brad them through so that they sit as a little pair, and then I'll attach that to the pocket, and then it can be COVID-19 and today's date. There's still space for journaling. You can still tuck a journaling card in the pocket. It was a quick page. It's not my best page, but it's done. It's documented, and that's what journaling's about. Thanks for watching. I'll post day 2 tomorrow. Stay safe. Bye-bye.